Hello everyone. Hi, I'm Rajni Purohit, Science Faculty Member, SGBA. So, in part 1 of heat, we have discussed about heat, temperature, different types of thermometer, and how to measure the temperature, what precautions we have to take care of when we are taking reading. In that, we have discussed clinical thermometer, digital thermometer, and laboratory thermometer. Today, we are going to discuss some main topics in this part 2 of heat, and these main topics will be transfer of heat, that how heat is transferred from one object to another, and this transfer of heat takes place by three main methods: conduction, second convection, and third radiation. Under convection, we are going to study two main topics, that is sea breeze and land breeze, how they occur due to convection currents. And lastly, we will be discussing about different types of clothes which we wear in summer and winter and how they absorbs and emits light and heat. So this all we will be discussing today's topic. So let's start with today's topic, that is transfer of heat. Transfer of heat is a phenomenon basically in which the heat flows from a region of higher temperature to a region of lower temperature till both the bodies attain the same temperature. So this is about transfer of heat. Here in this topic we will be discussing about three subheadings, that is conduction, convection and radiation. We will discuss them one by one. So first we will be discussing about conduction. Conduction is what? Conduction is basically a method of transfer of heat which generally occurs in solids. In this method, the heat transfers from hotter part to the colder part of an object. This is what we call as conduction. And to understand this, we will take an example that when you heat a pan on a flame, this utensil or the pan, it takes heat from the flame and it gives its heat to its handle. Then this is what we call as conduction. Conduction, the rate of conduction depends on two things, that is on the material which we use for it, that is either conductors or insulators. Let's discuss them. Conductors are the materials which allows the heat to pass through them easily. Say for example, aluminium, copper, steel, etc. Whereas insulators are those substances which do not allow heat to pass through them, like plastic, wood, rubber, clay, etc. Let's make it more clear that when we heat the pan with a plastic handle, the heat will be transferred to the particles of which the metallic pan is made up of. Say for it is of copper or aluminium or steel. So these particles are tightly packed in solids. They gain the heat from the flame and they start vibrating and they pass on their heat to the nearby particles by collision. And in this way, the thermal heat is passed on to the neighboring particles by this collision and the total pan gets heated up. This is because it is made up of a metal. But when we touch it or handle it with its handle, that is made up of an insulator, either plastic, as it is an insulator, so it will not conduct heat. So this is all about conduction. One more activity is there to understand it clearly, that take an iron or metallic strip and place it between two bricks, and then on the other end we have to put on fire. Then when the scale it is getting heat or fire, then we will put some wax pieces on this iron strip or scale at an equal distance from each other. As the iron strip gets heated up, the nearest wax piece to the flame, it will start melting and fall off. And then gradually this heat from the nearest end of the flame starts passing to the other particles, and ultimately all the wax pieces which are kept at a distance from each other will fall off as the heat is transferred from the particles to the other part of the colder end, and finally the whole iron strip becomes heated up. So this is how we can understand that a metal, it conducts heat and the heat is transferred by the particles from one point to another. To make it more simpler, I will simplify it that how conduction takes place. Just take an example that a teacher is asking in the class for a book. So the students are sitting there on the places. Without any movement, a student is passing the book to his friend A, then the book is passed from A to the student B, and then the student B is passing it to the teacher. So in this way, without any movement of student, the book has reached to the teacher. In this same manner, conduction takes place by the collision and vibration of the particles in solids. So our next topic for discussion is convection. Convection is a method in which heat is transferred through the particles. How it is possible? Just take an example that when a teacher asks for the book, then a student simply gets up from the seat and directly goes to the teacher and hand over the book. So this is a direct method by which the particles transfer the heat to each other. So we will discuss it in detail now. In convection process, it generally occurs in liquids or gases. As we know, liquids and gases have loosely packed particles. So when we heat any liquid or a gas, it expands and it becomes lighter and moves upwards. So when the first layer particles moves upwards, the surrounding layer or the surrounding particles, as they are cooler, they moves downwards and they start getting heat. As they becomes heated up, finally they starts moving upwards. So in this process, when it continues, the entire liquid or the gas, it becomes heated up because all the particles are coming in touch with the heat and they are gaining the heat, and thus the entire liquid becomes totally heated up. Then convection currents are responsible for two types of breezes which are occurring in coastal regions, namely sea breeze and land breeze. Sea breeze. So now we will see how convection currents are responsible for sea breezes. During daytime, the land becomes more heated than the sea, and at this time the air over the land becomes warmer and it starts moving upside, and the cooler air over the sea, it starts moving towards the land to take its place. So in this way, a complete cycle is going on from the land towards the sea and from the sea towards the land. So we can say that the cooler air coming from the sea towards the land is known as sea breeze. Now we will take land breeze. Land breeze is also a process which is occurring due to the convection currents. It occurs at night time and just reverse of sea breeze. At night time, the land becomes quickly faster than the sea. So the air over the land is cooler and the air over the sea is warmer at night. So what happens? The cooler air, it starts moving from the land towards the sea at night time. This is called as land breeze. Let's discuss something about radiation. Radiation is a mode of transfer of heat in which no medium is required, as the heat is transferred directly in the form of rays. Let's understand it by a very simple example. That suppose, though we don't have to do this, but just suppose if a teacher wants to give the notebook to the student, he or she will not pass it to the student, directly throws to the student. So in this way, that heat is directly transferred to that particular object. So this is a simple example. Let's take some more examples. When we sit in front of a room heater, the heat passes to us by that heater is also an example of radiation. One more, that when we take a hot utensil away from the flame and we keep it aside for a few minutes, it cools down. What it is that? It is an example of radiation. That means the heat which has absorbed, it has been transferred to the surroundings and it becomes cooler down. When we go out in sun, we feel warmer. Why so? As because the heat of the sun is coming to us in form of rays. So all these are very simple examples of radiation.
All hot
bodies radiate heat. While doing so, some part of it is either reflected or absorbed, or it is transmitted to other objects. In this context, we will discuss why people prefer light colored clothes in summer and dark colored clothes in winter. As we know that summers are too hot and light colored clothes, they absorb very less heat and reflects more, whereas dark colored clothes, they absorb more of the heat and thus they keep us warm in winter season. One more example, why do we use two thin blankets instead of one thick blanket in winters? The answer is very simple, that two thick blankets will trap the air more and it will not allow the heat to pass in the surroundings. So it will be more preferable to use two thin blankets instead of one thick blanket.